And we're live. Okay. It's a buddy of mine's channel. He's got this AI thing I want to show you about. Check this out. Say the bot crashed it. Uh-oh. That's awesome, man. I'm glad this channel's actually got some subscribers now. It's awesome, dude. Man, those are looking nice and ready to harvest. They are close. Okay, let me do this. Let's see. I think you gotta do verdant. Let's see. When is harvest? Oops. There we go. When is harvest? There we go. Here it goes. Stand by and check this out. Let's see. But watch this. Alright, so now this is the cool part. Like, that's cool. It gives you just straight information, man. It's really cool. But let's say, let's see. Let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on the universe? What masterpieces going in my garden? Oh, whoops. I guess I need to put. Now watch this. Alright, so I asked it a question. And it's going to bring this back around to gardening. That's the crazy part. Stand by. Oh, where's my tiny place in the universe? It's the old, yeah. Puzzle, the vast mysteries, mysterious and filled with celestial wonders. That can make any garden look like a post-it. You're like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It brings it back to gardening. It's the craziest thing. Swirling galaxies and sparkling constellations to incredible phenomena. Like black holes and supernova. So it's a reminder of how much there is yet to learn. Every discovery we make is like uncovering a new species of plant. See, it brings it back to gardening. That is the coolest thing ever. And let's see, adds to the richness of our knowledge and wonder of the unknown. Whether you're contemplating the vastness of space or deciding if your tomatoes are getting enough sun, remember that we're all just tiny specks in a massive cosmos, doing our best to grow. Isn't that cool how it brings that back to gardening in every which way? You can ask it anything. It will figure out how to make it about gardening to you. It's the craziest thing. Let's see. What do y'all think I should ask next? And in case anybody's wondering, let me show you. If you go to my 29-foot garden right there, this is where you can play with this thing. It's pretty cool. He set it up, he built it the whole nine, and it's just been awesome. But let's see. What should I ask it next? Do some off the wall shit. What are your thoughts on what? Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Let's see it. Verdant. What? Try that. Oh shit, I'm getting a phone call. Who's that? Oh hell. Hello? Hey, what's up, dude? Oh shit, what'd they do? Yeah. Think it might be the switch. So you can pop it out and look at the back of the switch. Yeah. Oh man, they probably unplugged it. Oh, you know what, Abe? Hey, we just made it back today. I mean, it's our first day back, so I hadn't even looked at it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I can take a look at it tomorrow. But, I know you need it to work now, yeah. Hey, you got that, shit, I think that flatbed's hooked up to the four-door. Oh, you're there. Yeah, you're there with them. Yeah. Damn, that sucks. Let's see, yeah, no, you're SOL. Let's see. Yeah, see if you can pop that dash out. Oh, did they fuck around and blow some fuses? I can't remember on that truck, dude. I think it's underneath the hood over there towards the right, I believe is where the fuse center is on it. But as far as the accessories and the light bar and all that shit, dude, you would expect that to be in the cab somewhere. There should be like a... It might be over there underneath the seat, underneath that bench seat. Again, it's kind of vague. It's been forever since I've been in it, so... it's either underneath the bench seat or it's going to be underneath the dash on the passenger side. Yeah. I remember having to get into the fuses one time, but it's been shit years. Yeah. All right, brother. Man, I apologize you're having to go through all that. Yeah. All right, dude. Hey, if they pop that dash out, I'm gonna guarantee you that there's probably a wire unplugged back there, or they probably fucked around and mixed them up or something. That'd be wonderful. God, man, me and electrical. Why does it always get stuck with electrical? Oh my God, it's another headache waiting to happen. All right, brother. Hey, man, you be careful. All right, bye, yo. Ah! Y'all heard it real time. I got a mess. So evidently one of the kids Often the wrecker couldn't get something to work, so they popped the dash out. So we'll see how that goes. Ain't no telling what's been messed with back there. We tell them all the time, hey, don't fuck with shit, If you don't know what you're doing, don't fuck with it. But anyhow, story of my life. Job security when you think about it. Anyhow. The darkest depths of the ocean, often referred to as the abyss zone, or the abyssal zone. Truly a world of wonders. It's a place where sunlight dare not venture, and the creatures have evolved in the most fantastical ways to survive. Imagine bioluminescence begins that light up like underwater disco balls. Eyeless critters that don't need to worry about mascara, and giant squids with eyes. The size of the dinner plates, all hanging out in the ultimate deep sea rave. It's a reminder of how little we know about our own planet. And there's a whole lot of mystery left for curious minds to intrepid, sorry, my bad. English, it's hard. Explorers. But as long as I don't have water, anything down there. As long as I don't have to water anything down there, I'm content where I am on dry land. With the daisies and the dahlias. Ain't that crazy though? There at the end, it started talking about like watering, like watering a garden, It always brings it back to gardening. And you can get this thing to control the camera too. It'll zoom in. There was some type of, it says it right here at the bottom. Let's see. Raise row, whoops. Garden update. Pest war, total kills 28. Titan chunker trapped a scout the next day. Let's see. So I forget what the control was for the camera. See, there's the channel owner right there. My 29-foot garden. Which his name was Certified. That's when I met him, and that was down in Mississippi, and he's always been certified. Then he built all this. He changed his name because one day he popped on there. I was like, wait, hold up, I made you a mod? And I was like, my 29-foot garden. I was like, hold up. But yeah, he made this channel, but I still call him Certified. Every time I see his name, I just call him Certified. Look at there, we got 29 tests. Okay, seems fine. Bot crashed the entire system last week. I knew he had problems out of it last week. He brought that up. Let's see. But that Verdant thing is pretty cool. It's AI. Let's see. What do you think I should ask it next? Let me do this. Hold up. Add Verdant. Oops. Do you love me? There we go. AI, do you love me? No, I am incapable of love. Stand by. Processing that, like, hold up. Well, yeah, exactly. While I don't have feelings, I do enjoy helping you out. Whether it's about gardening tips, trivia, or anything else, I'm here to assist you with, or assist with enthusiasm. Golly, English. And if there's anything specific you need help with, just let me know. Basically, she's saying, or Verdant's saying, is leave me the hell alone. Like, what kind of weird ass question is that? Like, come on, look, let's keep it about gardening, right? Yeah, that's not what we're gonna do. Anyhow, so anybody got any ideas? Let's see. Oops, my bad. There we go. What I'll do to speed things along. Alright, cool. Alright. This thing set back in frame. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so let's see. What will be the next question? Do you believe Pluto is still a planet? Yeah, let's see. I mean, obviously a planet. I mean, do you believe Pluto is still the 9th planet? There we go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can get like a think type question. Let's see. You think, no, hold up. Oops. Right? Maybe. Let's try that. Technically it is, so it might actually say, yeah, it's part of the solar system, it's there, ain't it? But that's not the question. Do you believe Pluto's still the 9th planet? I want to hear it. I want to know. Stand by. Oh, look at there. Absolutely, Pluto's still part of the solar system. It just got a bit of a demotion. 2006, it was reclassified as a dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union, but it's still out there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was figuring it'd probably go to. Having all sorts of icy adventures on the Kuiper Belt. Let's see. So while it may not be considered a full-fledged planet anymore, it's definitely still part of the solar family. Think of the quirky cousin who rocks their own style, right? Yeah, we're all still salty about that Neil deGrasse Tyson. We are still very salty about that. You done fucked up. Man. Demoted poor old Pluto, man. What did Pluto ever do to you? You know, whenever we had that flyby by Pluto, they ended up learning quite a bit about it. It was pretty cool. It was very active, more active than they thought. But here, let's see. Do this. Well, it's actually the only pictures that they got from a flyby. I'll put recent, I guess. Yeah, this is the flyby, I think. Yeah, ain't that crazy? I mean, it retains moons and all that. I mean, you know. I don't know. I grew up all my life here, and, you know, Pluto was a planet all the way up until they said, well, no, it's not a planet no more. Yeah, it is. Oh, man. You know what's interesting to me, though? Poles. The poles of planets. Now, they'll show the poles of the gas giants, obviously, which is actually kind of cool, because it's got like a hexagon type, you know, design to it. It's really awesome, which is natural. But anyhow, what's interesting is that they won't show the poles on our planet. I remember they've kind of suppressed that down, and if you go to Google Earth, obviously it's all stitched together, and that's their explanation of it. It's all stitched together. I'm putting my aluminum foil hat on, so, you know, tisms what it tisms. But, it's always weird that anytime you try to, like, for instance, every time the space shuttle, the, what do you call it, the ISS flies over the poles, they always shutter the outside. Like, nobody can sneak a photo either, they shut everything down every time it flies over the pole. That's just weird to me. Like, they actually got covers on the outside of the station that close every time it goes over the poles, which is just weird to me, But anyhow, I remember it was a big thing back, way back, but I don't know, just they don't want to cover it. It's just one thing they just don't want to cover. But I mean, like I said, there's a lot to this planet, man, and everybody thinks that we know everything about this planet. We don't. We're still discovering stuff, all the time. It's it's like even our oceans, man. We're not even started on the oceans. But, not even started. Hell, it's so vast. We've hit deep points of the ocean, but it's just that one little speck that we've been down in there. We don't know the rest of the story. And then we have all this shit. Did you see where they hit that they don't call them UFOs no more. They call them what was it? Aerial phenomenon or something like that. UAPs or something like that. Yeah, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Anyhow, they actually hit one. They shot a Hellfire at it, and it actually hit it. It bounced off of it, and it kept going. Like, it affected it. It touched it, but it kept going, which is nuts. That's a great way to make an impression for whatever the hell they are. And again, I still got my aluminum foil hat on. If y'all want to hear this. I find it interesting. You remember Oumuamua when it came in and they were kind of like trying to figure it out. And again, everything that comes out about that is all speculation. The only thing we have to go off of is how it accelerated out. It accelerated slightly, when it was leaving. And it just did things that were just weird, Everything about it was weird. It broke their brains pretty much. But now we had 3i Atlas roll through. And it was doing some weird things too. And on top of that, the material, the makeup of it. Well, wasn't it awfully funny, the Chinese spy balloons that happened? Whenever they popped in, there was like a string of them, And it looked like whenever everybody was zooming in on them, it looked like there was a bunch of test equipment on there. Now, they said they were weather balloons and all that, and, obviously they called them Chinese spy balloons. And I'm just being honest. If they were truly from China, that shit would have been popped before it even reached the border. Let's be honest, The fact that they studied that shit all the way across the U.S. and then shot it down over here in North Carolina. It was off the shore of, just right there off the shore of North Carolina. That's when they shot it down. And they studied it. And like I said, they gathered the equipment, and then there was nothing else after that. Like, nobody heard anything else after that. Now, my aluminum hat is still on. What if... I'm just throwing this out there. What if, when Oumuamua, or however you say it, flew by, they gotta stop giving shit some weird names. Call it Bob or something when it flies through. Damn. Anyhow, when that flew through, what if that was a scout of some sort? Right? I don't know. I mean, yeah, man. Nah, I'm fucking with you. But anyhow, what if that's what that was? And let's say those were quote-unquote pros, because it's not out of the ordinary. It's what we do to other planets. We've been talking about doing this to Venus. There's a point in Venus's atmosphere that's habitable. Well, quote-unquote habitable. It's Earth-like-ish. And they're talking about they want to do more research there, so they're going to deploy like balloons that would actually float within that layer. And they can control and, take measurements and all that shit, right? So it's not out of the ordinary that you would use a balloon, because that would be the most efficient way to float it across the surface like that, I don't know. Just something to think about. Now they were talking. Now I know. Speaking of the Venus thing, they were talking about like we can do floating labs and all that. I don't know how I would feel comfortable about having a floating lab because if anything, these slightest. By the way, it's a balloon. It's a balloon. If it pops, if anything happens, you start getting leaks, shit starts leaving. You're losing, whatever you're using, helium, hydrogen, whatever, to float it. Which hydrogen's already questionable of itself. A sharp wind change, something happens, and you fall, you're dead regardless. There's no coming back. It's hell below that layer. It's pure hell below that layer. You ain't coming back. So I don't see that working out too well. But as far as the instruments go, because the longest instruments they've had were the Russian ones, and they didn't last that long. They lasted a matter of hours on the surface. And then they died. So, but the balloon thing makes sense, right? Because again, that's just how probes would work in that type of environment. So, like I said, what if that's what that was? And that's why we didn't shoot it down immediately, because obviously that would have been like the first, hey, they're sending over a balloon, they're collecting data, they're, hey, they're flying over military bases and shit like that, sensitive areas. That shit would have been gone. But I think it was just something that was, they detected it coming in, it entered the atmosphere, a string of balloons popped up, and they studied it. That's my personal opinion. I think they studied it as it floated all the way across the U.S., and they decided to shoot it down, because they didn't want to shoot it down on land. It gets messy when you shoot it down on land. They wanted to shoot it down over the water so they can retrieve it, and of course you ain't got to go through, property and shit like that, You can shoot it down over the water and just retrieve it. And that's just my personal feeling that I have about it, right? My personal opinion about it is that it wasn't a Chinese spy balloon, which would be fucking terrifying. That something from somewhere else came in, dropped a probe on our planet, measured that, hey, there is some shit going on at this planet. There's life, holy shit. And they just shot our equipment down. Whoa. Well, now we got other interstellar objects coming in that were kind of flying along some very interesting, paths. So that's yeah. So I don't know. Just my little thoughts on it. Alright, I'm going to take my aluminum foil hat back off. So, yeah, we're done with that. Interesting, though, huh? That's just my... I've had that thought ever since it happened. I was like, I just had a feeling about it. I just can't shake that feeling. Besides, I mean, what about all the shit flying around that we can't explain? As long as that shit's been flying around and we can't even mess with it, like I'm talking, they've shot it now, and it bounced off, it physically reacted. You can now say, because everybody was saying, oh, it's, remember Neil deGrasse Tyson and all of them was all going on about, oh, it's probably just the equipment failure, you probably got a problem with this and that, and it's like, dude, come on, use your eyes, my guy. They've been chasing this thing. You had not only a person seeing it, you had radar seeing it, you had several people seeing it in person. Come on, my guy. Okay, put your, high and mighty, I'm the knower of everything. Put that shit down. They have been dealing with these things. They are not normal. We don't know who has them, what it is. It's definitely breaking all laws of physics that we have, that we know of. It's time to start thinking outside the box now, huh? Yeah. Just by far that was weird, but when they shot that thing, I like to fill out. Huh? Huh? Food. The kind you eat. No, the kind you chew it up and let it slide down your throat hole. the kind that sits in your tummy and makes you feel like, oh, that's so yummy. I'll let you pick this time. I picked last time.
You did not.
I did too. So it's like a... What else was it? Yeah, that was David Fravor. That's why I watched that Joe Rogan with David Fravor. You know, that was an interesting one. They've been dealing with these things, and then what happened over New Jersey? So now they said it was just drones, dude. Even a news station caught a freaking plasma ball. A news station. Now, mind you, this ain't, okay, it's one thing if there's a bunch of people out there with their phones just recording planes and shit flying over. Yeah, there was a lot of people that recorded just planes flying over. There was a lot of unexplainable shit, though. There was one guy that caught one that was the size of a freaking car flying around. And it was shaped weird, and again, some of these didn't have sounds, there was some that were loud as hell. Then there was ones that were going way out over the ocean, and they were all pointing an arrow at this one spot and was pointing down. But what got me was the freaking news station that actually recorded it was a big ass plasma ball just flying. There it goes. Looked like a ball of plasma. It was changing directions, not like ball lightning. Ball lightning, don't look like that. Ball lightning is bright as hell, and it does happen, and yeah. But this was like a ball of just plasma. Just so weird. That's like so you got David Fravor and you got what's his name? He was the other one that Joe Rogan interviewed. Shit. What was his name? He's the one that went to quote unquote Area 51, or he calls it whatever, else. It was whatever the subset of Area 51 was, the actual place that he went to, and said he had studied this shit, and then that's pretty cool. I'd say he's probably about the most credible one out there, and the fact that they still raid his shit to this day, only proves it so. I guess the only way he can keep himself alive is by keep talking about it, right? What was his name? Shit, I'm gonna have to look that up because that's bugging the shit out of me. Let's see. Joe Rogan. Bob Lazar, that was his name. Bob Lazar. That was a crazy one. I'd like to see another one where it's Bob Lazar and David Fravor sitting down, and talking about this. That'd be cool. I watched both of those and I was like in awe because it was just cool, So I listen to a lot of stuff when I'm at work. I'll listen to lectures and shit like that, But also I'll listen to podcasts. Which is why I hate when podcasts, this is why I don't listen to some podcasts. I go away from them. When they start playing sponsors all throughout it, just don't do that. I have avoided, it's like I had one that I really liked, Unsubscribed Podcast. I watched them all the time, right? I'd have them playing in my ear while I'm at work. Now every 15 freaking minutes they got a freaking sponsor going on. I just don't do that. I'm not going to stop every 15 minutes just to skip past a sponsor. Especially having premium. I paid that extra for premium to get away from the ads, and yet they've crept back in. That shit pisses me off. It's like they want you to do the right thing and pay for premium to get away from the ads, right? But they're making it to where you just want to pirate everything. Because, we can go straight back to pirating shit, and we can go back to that cat and mouse game of just fighting them out, If I'm to pay any kind of money to anything, it'd be to an ad block. You know, to help them out to keep the fight going. Because they deserve it. You know? Yeah, I can't stand when they do that shit. Because they pay so much money to these creators that, yeah, they're going to want to do that. But I wish creators would at least have the, you built this thing, right? You built this thing on up. It's very popular. It's this and that, you know? You got this dedicated fan base, but then you start running everybody away when you start playing these damn, adverts every 15 freaking minutes. And then it's like you got to really feel bad for the people who don't have premium or don't have ad blockers. These poor bastards are not only having to watch a shit ton of ads all the way through this thing, now they're having to skip through the darn sponsor, and by the time they skip through the sponsor, they're playing another freaking ad, dude. So, I mean, it sucks all the way around. I wish they wouldn't do that. Play your shit at the beginning and play your shit at the end. I don't mind sponsors, and I respect the hell out of creators who don't slip that shit in on you. You know, after 5-10 minutes, they'll slip one in. And it might just be the one. But no, screw that. You get that shit out the way at the very beginning, or you get that shit out the way at the very end. That I respect. I don't mind sponsors when they're like that, okay? But when they put them every 15 minutes, no, I stop watching you. I go away. Like right now, I'm just shooting the shit. This ain't nothing serious, but yeah. Again, with my 2 viewers, throwing my 2 cents out there. But let me get the camera back up. That way I'll at least have something to look at. Let's see. Let's do away with that. Let me pull this up. Let's see. No, not that. So I need to actually go back in because I think I got window capture, right? No, that's actual window capture. My bad. So what I need to do is pull this up, go away from that. Now let me come over here, do display capture right there. Okay. This, no, not that. This. Secondary, look at there. Look at there, look at there. Okay, so now y'all see that. Cool, cool. So I'll zoom that all the way in, pull that all the way back here. Look at that moon. Isn't that beautiful? Whoever took that picture. Because I believe that's a real picture. Yeah, that's a real picture. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me get rid of that window capture. Yes, go away. Okay, so let me come back over here. Minimize this. Pop that up. Yes. Alright, get that pulled back up. Y'all are going to see this now. Alright, got that pulled back up, and the camera will pop back up. Like so. And boom! Here we are. Y'all should catch up here in just a second. What's up, Chop? Let me see. Let me full screen this so I can see everything. Hey, look at there. Whoops, my bad. Let's see, let me fix this shit too. OBS, where you at? There we go. Yeah, that thing fell over behind me. What's up? This is a security camera. Yeah. Yeah, we're there now. As you can tell, it's very... Look at all the pixels. You can count pixels on me now, so... There's that. Let's see. But yeah, what's up, Chop? How you doing, man? I don't know if you heard all the talk about my aluminum foil hat, which I need to go grab one. But yeah, about Bob Lazar and what's his name? Shit, not David Fravor and all them. Yeah, I was getting all into that. But Oh, here, let me scoot the camera over. Damn, yeah, it's early as hell for you, dude. That sucks. Can you get some? Let's see, just get out of here. Yeah. Man, shit, you in pain again? Where am I from? I'm from Tennessee, dude. From Tennessee. But yeah. I'm not at all so awake now. Yeah. Some people have a superpower, super rare, but it is a real thing. They can sleep like 2 hours, you know, and be just fine. There's some people that can sleep 4 hours and be just fine again. You know, I can make it by on 6. I'm still tired at 6, but 7 hours I function just fine. You know, but that's about average. You know, you do build up sleep debt. That is a real thing. They're talking about gene coding and all that, and they're trying to steal that gene and try to, you know, that'd be like one thing they would pass off so people are more productive, you know. There's always a business, you know, it always comes back to money when it comes to things like that. So they might do something like that. That might end up, you know, publicly available because they're like, yeah, work longer hours. Then we'll go to like an 80-hour work week, you know. Wife is like that. 2 hours she'll operate normal. Yeah, ain't that weird? You know? Yeah, super weird. Yeah, we got it. Like I said, I was getting into like the poles of the planets and all that, man. We were, well, I was, you know. I ain't seen nobody until you popped up. And Mr. Rick and Morty. Morty! Don't come here, Morty. She might look like Freddy Krueger all day, though. Yeah. What season is it there right now? It's fall. Hmm?
I said, let me know if it's too loud.
Oh, you're good. Give some background noise, which I think I fixed the mic to where it won't really pick that up too well, so it does pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fall right here, man. I think over there in the UK where Chop's at, it's full on fall. Like all the leaves have, you know, changed color. Normally it's cold this time of year, but it's been pretty warm. Yep, it's been pretty warm. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, though, I'm my ass in the shower. I'm going my ass to bed. Full fall here, yes sir. So I figured. Not cold yet. Yeah, so same here. Yeah, it's not cold yet. So we've had chilly mornings, and that's about it. After that, it warms up pretty decent. I know I was busy this morning. That's where all this come from. Look at that. Or no, this side. That's after washing in the sink and all that, you know. Grease. I had to replace the track adjuster, which I figured I would have to because it was pretty bad last time I tried to use it. On that one side, because I replaced the other side. But yeah, finally, it wouldn't take nothing. But in this case, it's not all broke all to hell, so I'm gonna take and see if I can retap the threads to work with the standard, you know, grease dirt. Because man, I'm telling you, dude, Deere does that. You know, John Deere does that proprietary shit. I'm telling you, they got their own grease nipples. It's the most ridiculous thing you'll ever see. Let's see. Yeah, it's squeaking. Yeah. Yeah, it's the chair. It's a comfortable chair, though, man. It just squeaks all the hell. I need to WD-40 this thing. 1-800 spray that shit. we've been going all day. Hell, we just got home probably about a couple hours ago. I said, hey, I think I'm gonna go live real quick. I used to grease massive factory machines, grease nipples in my time. So, there's one thing I didn't understand that some people do, and I understand you're trying to get good coverage with grease, but there's a lot of times people waste grease. When you see that shit gooping out, don't do that. You don't have to goop the grease. You know, the machine I operate is slacked out regardless. You know, even the baler's got some slack to it, you know. It's just, you know, so yeah, those, they're just going to make a mess regardless. But if you got a tight machine, you don't have to goop that thing out to where you're just wasting grease all at the bottom. I shit you not, the guy that used to run the baler before me would pump until there was absolutely a glob of grease underneath the machine. Underneath each grease point. He would go through, because I go through about 10 tubes of grease on that machine when you go to grease it fully, you know, all the way through the door, through the crane rig, the whole nine. It takes about, well, don't really take about 10. It takes about 8. It just depends, you know. It depends on really what grease you use, too, because if you use the moly grease, it lasts a lot longer. If you use that high temp red, it'll go away faster. But the moly is what I like to use. It's normally the one we do use. But anyhow, but you you put that 8 tubes through there and it's fine. That other dude, he was using anywhere from 15 to 20 tubes of grease each time. He would waste the shit. I've seen him. He'd taken he'd be pumping it and it's just steadily pouring out the bottom. Like, dude, stop. Stop. It's greased. You know, you just pump it until you barely see it coming out. It'll do the rest. The second you open the equipment up, it pushes it right where it needs to be. It ain't got to be just falling out the machine. What time is it in Tennessee right now? It is 7:50. Little and fairly often. Yep. Because I know another problem. If you overgrease, especially on the Traco, when you go to haul it down the road, all that grease ends up all over the windshield and shit, you know? You ain't got to overgrease it like that. I used to spray rubber film over a massive spray paint booth. We had hand grease everything in sight. First buckets of the stuff. Yeah. See, I like those 30-gallon, those 30-gallon greasers, the air power greasers. That's what we used to use at an old salvage yard I worked at. Yep. We had a skid. It was a service skid. That's what we called it, which that's what it was. But had an air compressor. It was a gas-powered air compressor. Had the grease. It was a 30-gallon can of grease with the pump on it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It's got its own smell. Especially gear oil. If you ever get gear oil that's bad, you know, that gets water all in it and everything, it's the worst smell in the world. Especially when it gets burnt, you know. Pretty good. Look, I have to go. Alright, Rick and Morty. Take it easy, buddy. But, yeah. That's what we used to use to service the machines, and then there was this one. I loved this machine. So it had an auto greaser, and I don't know why this isn't a thing standard on most, you know, machines. But it you just basically replace this bucket of grease on the machine. It did the rest. At certain intervals, you would just hear it, and everything would get greased. It's pretty cool. The only things that didn't get greased were the lower, you know, portion. But everything else, the arms, everything got greased. Pretty cool. The only thing that didn't get greased was the implement at the other end of the arm. Yep. Why they don't do that all the time, I don't know. You know. I mean, it's some fancy shit, but damn it works. Especially if you just keep up with it, you know. You can go so long with that one bucket would last so long with those intervals. I've had to replace those bushings too. They're not fun. Don't you love being covered by a hot burst of hydraulic oil? Yes, that's always fun, especially when it's high pressure. Yep. I remember on my tractor, you know that backhoe attachment. You got those couplers. I've been sprayed by those. Went to go put it on and of course, you know, with the backhoe, when you detach it from the tractor, it it's got pressure on it, you know. When I set them down, I always try to set them down to where they don't have that much pressure. After I get it unhooked from the tractor, I'll actually set it all the way down to where there's no pressure at all that's on it. That's how I do it now. When I first got it, I set it up like how they had it on the lot. No, don't do that. It sucks. As soon as I went to go push that coupler in, sprayed all in my face, got all in my eyes. That's the first time I've had hydraulic oil like in my eyes. Yep. You live and learn. Before I went into training, I had 20/20 vision when I come out because they said that mace wouldn't hurt you, you know, like that. Mace fucking hurts, by the way, and very much, a lot. And yeah, it does fuck with your vision because when I come out of training, I had 20/40 when I come out. This eye still ain't right. But let's see. Everything you got goes in the bin. Yep. Yep. Compressor oil especially, dude. If you know those fridge compressors and whatnot. I remember one day we was at the yard and I went to go pick one up. I didn't realize it. It spilled all out on me, dude. And I'm gonna tell you, that shit burns. It burns. I had to run and get clothes. Actually, I had to run down the road, buy a shirt, you know, buy some pants. Went in the break room and changed. Had to wash all that shit off my stomach and everything. It was burning. Try paint thinner. Ooh. No, man. Screw that. So I've had brake cleaner and shit like that blow back in my eyes. That's not fun. That's with iPro too. That shit come right in my eyes. It like went over, you know, it dripped down. So, you know, I sweat a lot, so it just went right in my eyes. That shit burnt like a sun gun. But getting gassed, and mace. When I got I keep saying certified. When I got certified for the mace shit, they had to certify. It certifies twice. I will never say that normal again. I'm just gonna say certify. I'm just gonna say it. I mean, fuck it. At this point. But when I got certified, they had to do it twice because lucky me, the time I went through training, they come out with that new Saber red or some shit like that. You know, the shit was like candy apple red on your face, man. It was that thick. It very much sucked. Very much. They wonder why women live longer. Yeah. 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 But, yeah, I'll never forget that. And every bit of it sucked. And days after, you would shower that shit out, man. You think you got it all out. There will be a flake of it somewhere in the creases of your eye. Somewhere. And it'll just flake off, and then boom, your eye just goes instantly shut, and you're running all the way back to the bathroom to wash that shit out. You know, try to open it back up. It was rough because when you got maced, you had to fight. You know, you had to do all your takedowns and all that shit. You know, it just sucked. Golly, it sucked. I don't recommend it. You know what? And I saw a dude. He was right in front of me, man, and that's not helpful. And we called dude bear. You know, he was just a bear. The dude was huge. And I remember he said, "All right, come on, hit me with it." And she sprayed that shit right directly across his eyeballs. His eyes were wide open. Because when they go in front of you, they stand sideways. They look at them. You know, because you're lined up like this. They're looking at you like that. And, yeah. I saw that shit stream right across his eyeballs. And he took that like it wasn't shit. Hell of a dude, man. But you know what was ironic? Out of all of us, me and him were the only two that got raccoon eyes. That was fun when it come to the DIs, man. That was fun. Because we got fucking picked on. Father-in-law was a plumber. So the flux was a killer in the cut. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, you find out real quick if you got cuts or anything with brake cleaner. Because I'll tell you that right now. Starting fluid, brake cleaner, anything like that. If you get some on your hand as you're spraying down a part or something, you'll find it real quick if you got an open spot. I remember that, man. Me and him were the only two with raccoon. Raccoon eyes are we call them, it's like the red, you know, you're so irritated right here, you know. They call them raccoon eyes. That'll stand you out, and when you get stood out, yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, man, that place had some really good food. Golly, the food was so good. But you couldn't enjoy it. That was the sucky part. They had the pizzas like, now, I don't know if you know this, Chop, because I know a lot of things are different there in the UK. But here in the US, everybody knows school pizza. There was a school pizza that you got, you know, that it was those squares. But they make a big pan of it, right? And they cut them into squares, right? And that shit was so freaking good. There was nothing that beat school pizza. And they had this other pizza that was pepperoni. This was the meat, like the almost like a meat lover's pizza, right? But it was that good, man. And they had that shit there. They had it there, and it was, oh my god, I ate so much of it and I threw it all back up. Oh my god, dude, it was so good though. It was worth it. I got to taste it twice. Yeah, I got to taste it twice. When I was in training, the you know that school pizza that's always so good, that they cut in the squares and it's like the sausage pizza, you know? Yeah, dude, that shit was fire. They had that when I was in training, and you couldn't enjoy the lunch as much, man, because the second you was done, because they were in there with you, they was watching you the whole time, and it's like, all right, you be halfway, and you felt so bad because the last guy would finally get his food, you know, he had to scarf that shit down, you know. I was so lucky. I was towards the front, you know. I was lucky / unlucky I was towards the front because they had its drawbacks. But when it come to eating, you had more time. I felt bad for the dudes that got in there last. Oh my god, dude, they had to scarf that shit so fast. But yeah, because they come in there. All right, let's go. You have to like take your shit, you know, throw it, you know, get on out there and start running, man. They made sure you didn't get to enjoy nothing. They left us alone a couple of days. But you were so scared, man. And then they do it that third day. Yeah. You could never rest easy. You never knew they were gonna get your ass. Good times. I was racing once, got rolled. The old batteries, this refilled acid came out. Got it in my hand. Cuts. Oh man. Acid ain't nothing to play with, dude. Oh. Yeah, I deal with batteries all the time too. So that's like I gotta really wash. Like anytime I deal with batteries or anything like that, like I'll wash my hands, arms, and everything super well at work. You know, we got that Dawn dishwashing liquid, the big bucket worth. You know, and that shit really does cut. It's the super concentrated one. You know, but I'll cut all that shit off of me, and you know, because again, I don't want to bring lead home and shit like that. You know. But I know that acid, it burns like a sumbitch, especially if you get a hot enough battery. Yeah. Some batteries are so dead, you know, and the acid's just so weak. But there are, yeah, it sucks when you get one that's really good. My hand cut. So you oh no, you stuck it in your mouth? No. So how'd it taste? Like acid? Man. What's up, Victory Liade? Lad? That almost sounds like lead. What's up, lead? Victory lead. They want us to work till I was till we're 70. Oh man, dude, yeah. So that's another thing. See, they're always fight. Let's see. I just subscribed. Oh, I appreciate that, Victory. Appreciate it, dude. That's another thing, man. They're always raising the retirement age. You always find that weird. They're always fighting to raise it higher and higher. Just, you know, there's a lot of us, man. There are some people that make it to 70 and they're fine working. You know, that's no problem. They're so, you know, everybody's different, right? People like us, we age like milk. You know, when we hit our 50s, we're getting tapped out. You know, it's 67, yeah, but want it higher, yeah. So that's about what it is here. You know, I think it's like 60. What was it, 68 or 65, something like that?
65.
Yeah, 65. Yeah, 65 here. You know, people like me, man, and people like me and you, Chop. You know, when we hit 65, man, shit. What are you gonna want to do after that? You know. I mean, some people are lucky, you know, they get office jobs and just, you know, easier type jobs throughout their life, you know, and of course, you know, less stressful type jobs, you know, too. Which I'm not saying office jobs can be less stressful. That could be like a shit ton more stress and that'll kill you faster, but, you know, age you out faster. But I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of us that work out here, you know, in the sun, out here doing this type of work, you know, and when we hit that kind of age, man, we're in pretty bad shape, you know. To retire then, you know, golly. At that point, we're on disability, you know. Kind of tapped out. I think they should lower that age instead of trying to fight to raise it. It's okay if you're a gynecologist, you don't want to retire. Yeah, exactly, right? I think we need a career change. That's what it is, child. We need to change our careers, man. I'm glad I'm in a cab now, even though my cab is wide ass open and I'm having to enjoy all the dust and shit and the splatter of mud and all that nice stuff because they broke my windshield on Saturday. But at least I can say I'm in a cab now, so it's nicer. We had a pretty good day too, man. We had over 100,000 people the first stream, and then the second stream we had over 90,000. It was pretty good, man. I think we're back a little bit. Like I said, now I'm back to the steady flow of work, man. When we was up there in Memphis, man, it was too up and down. Like I said, it was I had signal one day, I didn't have signal the next day. I think they was having a problem out of the cell towers up that way, and I kept trying to go live. It just did not work, you know. One day it worked. The first day I was there, it worked, and then after that, it didn't work. You know, there was nothing I could do. And then it started working there towards the end. So once I got all the cars cleared out, it started working again. You know, so I was able to go live for that. But then we get back to the shop, and it's just been steady. Like I said, we didn't have a problem all day, except for that one time my phone overheated. But yep. If the cab was sealed up and I didn't have that window missing, that wouldn't have happened because the cab would have been cool. But I ain't got a window. Nearly a 60. Yeah, I know, man. We was building up today. I remember 1,000. Yeah, dude. It wasn't that long ago though. It's the claw. I prefer the baler. Yeah, dude. I do miss the baler, man. I still got to operate it though. I mean, it's not like I don't ever operate it. It's still happening. And like I said, I'm starting to work on the baler, so he's actually allowing some work on the baler. So we got to get these cars going. As soon as these cars are going, we're gonna, you know, I got to work on the knuckle. It needs new lines up there because Chasten, man, and again, partially I blame that thing not having working lights on it because he was having to load a lot of that shit in the dark. I was too. It just sucks. But I know he was hitting the front of the knuckle on the other side of the trailer. See, when you go on those trailers, you can't touch the other side because the knuckle with all your hoses is what's touching. You know, you don't want that. But it ended up screwing up some hoses up there. So we're going to get those replaced. I got a couple in the toolbox on the service trailer. So I'll go ahead and toss those on. But I know it's probably going to need those other two too as well. You know, and I got to make extras too. So while we're on the road, we can replace them on the spot. we got to have a pipe welded underneath one of the main feed lines for the other cylinder, all the way on the other side. It got a crack in it. That's where the leak was, because we tried tightening the hose up and all that, and then I noticed it. It was a crack. So it is a crack. It's got to be welded up. So there's that. And then she'll stop leaking, because man, she was limping there at the end. She did 1,000 cars though. That's how many cars we did. 1,000. That one job. And we had a lot of hiccups, man. My wife, we just gave birth. We got a newborn. So I was out for about a week. So realistically, though, had I not been out, we would have been done in 2 weeks, if that. Because we were done with the first, what was it? It was 700 cars or 800 cars. We was almost 800 cars the first week. And, well, it was 500 cars Friday. And then Tuesday, let's see, Tuesday when I come back, it was Monday and Tuesday, we had hit like 800 cars. You know, so we would have been done in, 7 days? Had it been me and Chaston. But that whole week, there was Forenzio that was there, and Danny come in and was operating the Traco. He said, dude, I barely got a car. He says they wouldn't bring me a car. They were just worried about their own shit. And that's what I found out about Danny. Danny was just picking through the cars to get the motors out. So we're running into some problems there, too. Oh, baby's here. Oh, yeah, baby's here. That's why it was very spotty on live streams here lately. And it was actually on a live stream. It was on one of these live streams. I looked over and I said, are you okay? And she said, you might need to go ahead and, I think you said hop in the shower, get things ready, So we got showers. Because like I said, when the contractions first start, you got a little bit of time. So we took showers. We just made sure we had everything packed. We got the car ready. We got the car seat, like it's there,
And then we kind of sat around.
Yeah, we kind of sat around and just counted the contractions, and then after that we shot off to the hospital. And she enjoyed the first night. The epidural worked on the first night. She slept pretty good. Like I said, man, we all slept. We knew better this time. First time I stayed up 30-something hours. That sucked. But the second time we were smart about it. We got some sleep. We like I said, just took our time. But the problem was the second day. The epidural machine had a hiccup. It had a problem. It had an error in the line, right? So they come in there, they fixed that, allegedly. And then now it had an occluded line.
Everything just...
Yeah, it all went downhill from there. Then it had an occluded line, which we saw a little kink in the line, so they ended up replacing that line. And ever since they replaced that line, it didn't work. She felt the whole thing. All of birth, the whole thing. That sucked. It was awful. Yeah. It was awful. We thought we was playing it smart with that epidural, and it worked great the first night. It did not work after that. They had nothing but problems. And they didn't even change the machine out. They said, no, it's working. She would come in there, and she would test her, like, hey, do you feel this? She'd take something cold and wet. And she's like, yeah, it's cold and wet. I feel it, like she would touch her like everywhere and she was feeling it. Okay, replace the machine, right? No. Anyhow, let's see, is that it? 2 and done? Yeah, we're done at 2. I think so. That's about what we can handle. Let's see, I had one of mine, Grand Prix, just about to start roast dinner on my knees. She said, let's go. I said, what now? Yeah. Yeah. I think we can wait. Yeah, dude.
My heart is set on 2.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at, just 2, man. Because I don't know. Financially, we can handle ish 2, to a point. It's just if we get any more than that, it's just going to become more of a... I want my kids to have a future. I don't want it to be super easy on them, but at the same time, I want them to have a future, and I want us to be able to do things. And right now, we're kind of ish able, just not, fully. Like I said, we're working towards it. I'm always getting into something, trying to figure something out. That never stops. She gave me 5, bless her. Yeah. Man, dude. God bless y'all. Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah, you had 5. Yeah. Yeah. My son, he's oh my god, dude, he is something on a dirt bike. So we rode the dirt bike earlier, and he'll run the throttle and everything, and he'll hold the handlebars like that, and he'll tell me where to go. He'll point where he wants to go and all that, and we'll go check things out. I can't wait till he's old enough to ride his own. Which right now I've been looking into like little gas dirt bikes. You know, like sometimes you find them with the trainer wheels and all that on them, and I could set the throttle because a lot of times people junk those things. All it is the carburetor gets gunked up. They toss regular gas in it thinking that's fine, but it's a carburetor. You know, even the Chinesium ones, man, it's a carburetor. If you let it sit more than any kind of time, really, any kind of like 3 to 4 months, you know, which I would even push it to 4 months, it crystallizes. It's that ethanol fuel, that corn fuel I call it. And that's all that's wrong with it. If you clean the carburetor out, it'll run just fine. You know, but they'll junk it. They'll full on, like you see them all day, every day for like $200 to $300 on Facebook Marketplace and shit, dude. Around here, at least. I can't tell you the amount of them I've come across that, that's all it is. Well, we got it a while back. You know, they only rode it a handful of times. It won't start. You know, we put it up last year, brought it out this year. It won't start. Well, yeah, it's gunked up. Now, if you put non-ethanol fuel in there, you won't have that problem. You know, and it's just a small tank. I mean, it don't hurt. Just get. I know non-ethanol for whatever the hell reasons. Well, I mean, I understand. Ruh-roh. Well, let's catch an update on this. What's up, buddy? What was it? Yeah. Oh, so what had happened was he didn't hook it back up. Gotcha. Gotcha. So that explains. All right. So hey, it's fixed. Perfect. Perfect. Hey, yeah, you saved me some work. I appreciate it, dude. Well, if you needed me, you should have called me. You should have called me. I could have come out there and helped you. Oh shit, Ethan's with you? Damn, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, now he knows how to work on it too. You know what? Hey, Ethan. Hey, we're making it now. It is what it is. Ethan is the new mechanic. No takesy backsies. No takesy backsies. Hey, I'm not the. I'm not the mechanic. Oh no, you ain't hate Sean to me. No, no. No, I'm not the. Hey, Ethan's the new mechanic now. Ethan's the new mechanic. Yeah, he's the new mechanic. Oh man, he's doing good. She's doing really good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, just tell Ethan he's the new mechanic. It is what it is. You know. Damn. Golly, man. I'm not looking forward to those front seals on that darn on that loader. I guess. I thought so. Is that what y'all said? Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, get Doug to do it. I would I would love for Doug to do it. Hell yeah. Hey Doug, you know he's the guy. He's the guy for it. You know, I believe in him. Hell yeah. Damn straight. Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. You know what? Might as well. Nah, I'm fucking with you. We got the Baylor and Traco though. Nah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I know, man. Cause I got a list. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I got to rebuild the cylinders on that. Yeah. Hey, I got some cylinders on the Baylor that needs to be rebuilt too. I got to rebuild the one on the crane and there's one underneath that we got to get to on the door. Which I mean it's always had that leak, you know, but packing's coming out so. Oh, you know I'm gonna need help now because it's gonna take 200-300 pound sons of bitches on each end of the pipe wrench, you know, to try to get that thing broke loose. Shit. Let's hope it's the clip type. Like I said, we don't know until we crack it open and find out what kind of shit show we're getting into, you know. Yeah. Yeah. All right, dude, man. Y'all take it easy. All right, bye, man. Yeah. Well, let's see. Tim Russell. Where are you from? Tennessee, dude. Real fighting hard to ignore. Oh yeah. No, man. They had a problem with the wrecker, and he found out what the problem was. They took the battery. So there's a box on top of the battery that controls the PTO, because it's electric, you know, over PTO, you know, electric over hydraulic PTO that's on it. Let's see what else. And it controlled the light bar, all that stuff, you know. And they unhooked that box, you know, from there when they replaced the batteries when the kids replaced the battery on the wrecker, and they didn't hook none of that stuff back up right, and that's why it wasn't working. And they were stuck on the side of the road for over an hour, you know, getting stared down by every crackhead and you know that place, you know, before they can get that car going because they broke down in a very bad spot. But anyhow, yeah, that sucks. But he figured it out. It's all done, and everybody's happy. And that's one less thing I got to fix tomorrow. So yeah, Ricky Morty's back. What's up, buddy? Let's see. My oldest is nearly 39, 36, 33, 30, and 27. Every 3 years, I went fishing for that 27 months on the last one. Damn. Yeah, dude. So that's one less thing to worry about. And hell, I thought because they told me I was rebuilding the seals on the front end loader, but now they said something about Doug. So that's perfect. Yeah, Doug. Yeah, beautiful. You know, get him in there, and that way all I got to worry about is the Trico and Baylor and the forklift again. So it's like we've been chasing cylinders on the forklift. We get the tilt cylinders built, which you know how it is with those hydraulic systems. Hell, Chop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You fix one thing, and now you get the pressure right, and now it's going to go bad somewhere else. You start finding all your problem cylinders. I've redone the main one, redone the tilt, redone one of the second stage cylinders. Now the other second stage cylinder's leaking, so we got to pull it out, and it's just, yeah. I got work. I got a lot of work. And then, of course, the kids, man, they're coming at me with the four-wheelers and all that shit, dude. And it's just, yeah. I heard one of the kids, they flipped a four-wheeler pretty bad. They went up like a wall of some sort, and they jumped off, and the four-wheeler just went tumbling. So I got to fix all that now. So that's going to be fun. You, grease the nipple, let him do it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. That's my philosophy. If it ain't broke, don't go fixing it. Because when you go fixing it, you gonna break it. That's yeah. That's some words to live by right there. Yeah, you go finding trouble. If you go looking for a problem, you gonna find it. Or it's gonna find you. One of the two. That's why service the machines and keep them up, but don't go chasing for shit because you gonna find it. Yep, you'll find more shit when you fix stuff. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I said, it'll show its ugly head. You fix one thing, another, and something else. When you get strong in that one point, something else will go wrong. I'm gonna tell you, the most annoying thing I worked on was electrical trees. I call them electrical trees. They're it's an armature basically, but it's for machines. It's what rotates around that assembly for anything that's electronic in the cab. The Traco's got one. The Baylor has it. This one in particular though, it's a Case 1085C, like a 94, 96 model roughly. Somewhere in that range. I think it was a 94 model, though. If I remember correctly, it was a 94 model. If you look it up, it's a rubber tire loader, and normally they're used for like excavator type, work. You'll see them with like the city and whatnot, but they had one. They had it set up with a magnet, and it had a hydraulic motor off the accessory drive that would run the generator, and that's how you would you'd flip that on. That's running, and you'd use a switch to work the magnet, and that switch would light you up every now and then. I'm talking, it would absolutely fry your thumb. Anyhow, that loader had an electrical gremlin that started popping up, and you would go to rotate, it would stop, or if you would go to push out with the arm, it would stop, and it would get stuck. And sometimes it would get so bad, man, you could barely use the machine. And because, like I said, when you're working a magnet, you're sifting through material, and you're using all those accesses. Obviously, anytime you run a machine like that, you're using all of it. Obviously.
Now that one's away.
Uh-oh.
So you got this one and then that one.
Yeah. But what it ended up being was it had some damaged rollers that were in that armature. That would ride that, armature. Bad part was it was all the way at the bottom. So you had to go through, because it was about, let me see if I'm on screen here. Yeah, you'd have to go about, let me see, where's my hands at? Okay, let me adjust it so y'all can see. Right there. Okay, it was about that tall. Alright, and each little piece, there's itty bitty little pieces. It's like a 1,000-piece puzzle that goes all the way down. I had to disassemble all that shit just to get down to the ones that were broke, and replace them. Oh no, I'm not happy. Poor baby. But yeah, dude, and that was probably one of the more annoying things I had to work on. And what the problem was is whenever those messed up, it ended up actually frying the solenoids, because the machine was all solenoid control. And, pretty much everything on the machine was controlled by solenoids. And, yeah, it ended up, and it was hell finding those, man. You have to take each and every one and test each and every one, the resistance on it, to see if it's blowed or not. Well, we finally found the two that were blowed. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second, y'all. Mama, I want the real thing. Oh, what's that boy doing? Oh, he's ducking his thumb.
Oh no.
Him ducking his thumb.
We don't need that.
But, go crazy.
Oh, I know that, but we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because then we'll never stop.
Oh, he's so precious.
You okay?
Oops. My bad. What's up, everybody? I'm back. This guy here, what am I looking at? Not a lot. Let's see. I was fixing a starter on an old car. It was a pig to put. Yeah. Lost my temper, threw a hammer through the windshield. Expensive temper. What had happened was, yeah. See, what had happened was, yeah, dude. Yeah, I've worked on some messy machines, man, and a lot of the machines were just wore out. Again, scrapyard machines, it's a hard life on them, man. It's a hard life on them. It don't have to be, but it 9 times out of 10 is, you know. But this is a boring stream, by the way. I know, I get it. Anybody just tuning in, this is, again, we're just shooting the shit, you know. If you want to watch the interesting stuff that I do on this channel, just today, if you go back to the other 2 streams, that's where I'm operating the machinery. I'm still fresh off of that. Look, still can't get a shower. But yeah, yep. That's the interesting stuff. But here we're just, I don't know, after the crush. Well, let me catch it back up too. No, it's caught up. There it is. Shit, what time is it going to be? I know it's real late for you, Chop. Or early, I should say. Watch Philly makes wood chips. These machines are permanently breaking. It's hard on them, man. Yeah, it's really hard on them. My back hurts. I just noticed his channel name. My back hurts. That's awesome. I feel you, brother. Yeah, 2:30, man. Golly. Man, Chop, I don't mean to hold you, man. I know it's... Man, it's early as hell there. You're about to watch the sun come up in a few hours. I've done that before. Yep. I've sat out on a guardrail one time, all the way from midnight to watching the sun come up. Nashville, Tennessee. Should be a burglar. I'm always up. I should be a burglar. Nah. You get caught. Knowing our luck, you get caught. The first time you do it. Naturally. That's the one thing that's different between me and the last dude that run the baler, you know? He was more focused on when he got into these places, man, and I can understand because he's costed jobs before over this very reason. I'm surprised he didn't get kicked then, you know? But, always focusing on what's in the cars. I don't give 2 shits what's inside the cars, man. I mean, yeah, if something cool falls out, hey, that's cool, but I'll always ask them. Like I said, I'll gather up, like, anything that I see that's pretty cool, and I'll ask them. I'll ask the people, hey, what do you want for this? I always do that, I don't hide nothing. I don't, just keep something. I mean, there's, I always ask. Whereas he would just go in there and take all that shit, man. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen converters and shit sitting underneath the baler. Just weird shit always going on. There was one time he on the clock was running down there cutting copper out of cars. Yeah. Cutting copper out of the cars. Should be baling, not bailing. That's why nothing ever got done. Now, hopefully on this next job that we got to do, when I get all this shit, done, I'm going to take my truck, and I'm staying on the job site. We'll work from dawn to dusk. I'll get the shit done, I want to see how fast we can push a job, how fast we can get done. Because normally when we're driving back and forth every day, you can only get so much done in a day, but we still get a lot done in that time. Like I said, half a day that first day we did 100 cars, 102 cars. Now let's see. I am unlucky. I'd get caught if I fell in a barrel of tips. I'd come suck them out the hole. Hey man, Chop said if he falls into a barrel of tits, he'd come up sucking his thumb.
Oh my God.
That's his look. I've never heard that one before. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that is good.
I'm going to use that, by the way, tomorrow. Let's see. Wet noodles. I was in the hospital due to a bike accident. Oh, shit. Down a mountain. Lost my left arm, but it's okay. And now I'm all... No. Shit. Seriously, though. Did you? Ouch. Wait, hold on. Like a motorcycle accident or a bicycle accident? I know bike accident can mean two different things. You know, two different machines. God, you lost your left arm. Damn. That escalated quickly. Sorry, it was a... Oh, shit. No, hold up. Let me reread it. Now I get it as a dad joke. Due to a bike accident down a mountain. Lost my left arm, but it's okay. Because I'm now all right. Yeah. I'm still working on dad jokes. I'm on my second kid, but I'm getting there. I guess it takes time for it to really kick in. I was taking that shit serious. I was sitting there thinking about that accident I was in. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I feel you, dude. I didn't lose my arm, but I feel you. I got lucky in my accident, though. Unlucky circumstances, but lucky at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm wondering if that dude that has the channel name Nerd comes back. We talked for a minute in here. I swear I was trying not to be mean. But I swear he had the best channel name. Nerd. So how you doing, Nerd? Sounds like you're being mean to the dude all the time. That's a dad joke in and of itself, man. His channel name. Because you cannot, I mean, like, everything you say to the guy, it's just, like, saying his channel name, just, you sound like you're being a dick. See, I feel bad every time some got nearly sad over my accident that never happened. Yeah. No, you're good, dude. No, I've been in a real accident, man. That's why my brain went straight to like, hey, you know, oh shit. Yeah, holy shit. But yeah, you're all right, you know, now. Yeah. I got you. But, damn. My daughter was sitting in town with a boy I never met. I walked up to her and gave her a bag and said, "Here's your thrush cream," and walked off. Oh my god, dude. Oh shit. Yeah, I have to walk over. Here's your Ghana Her Pacifically cream. What's that? Oh, it's really bad, contagious. You know, through touch too. You know. How you really mess them up if you own a hazmat suit? Can I roast myself? Go for it, dude. You do anything, America. Well, depends. Hell, Chop, you know, he's got to be careful. Over there, they arrest you for shit you say online. Yeah, they do, for real. Like, for real, they'll pick his ass up if he says something. If he does any kind of wrong thing, they'll pick his ass up. Don't believe they won't.
I think that's dumb.
Oh, it is. It's crazy, dude.
Okay. Supper's done.
Oh, is it? Perfect.
Just let it cool off.
She went mental at home. Oh, I bet you heard an earful over that. My mom or us. So she's 9 months to come up with a joke. Ah, that's actually a good one. Hold on, that is a good one. I gotta remember that other one though, man. That I got such bad luck. If I fell into a barrel of tits, I'd come up sucking my thumb. I'm using that shit tomorrow, dude. I'll let you know how it turns out. But oh, poor baby. Can't say nothing. I saw one guy got 5 years just for owning a taser. Yeah, ain't that crazy, man? Yeah, like I said, man. If everybody had firearms, they wouldn't test that shit. You know what they said when they changed? Let me tell you something that happened over there in Virginia. So in Virginia, here in the states, obviously, here in the states, they passed a law. Basically, it was so weird. You know, a super red state flipped blue overnight. It was super weird circumstances. Well, anyhow, now that they had full total control, they basically passed a law that made everybody in the state a felon overnight. You know, because most of the state, you know, again, majority of the state owned this type of firearm. And it basically made everybody a felony overnight. And they were pushing, they were up there pushing, telling, you know, the law enforcement to go in and start raiding homes. And you know what I loved about the whole thing? The sheriffs and everybody, all these, you know, sheriffs and everything from these local, you know, towns and everything hopped up on TV and said, "Sir, I'm not fixing to start sending in deputies to die for an unconstitutional law. This is unconstitutional to begin with." And he says, "I'm not going to do that, but I will send them in the second you get your ass you're the first one going in and kicking in the door." He said, "You're going to be at the front of the stack going into these houses." He said, "That's the only time I'll do it. Until then, you ain't going to push us to do anything unconstitutional." And that's exactly how it will play out. You know, that's how it did in Virginia. That's how it's going to do everywhere else, you know, so... Except for, you know, we know. We know the places it wouldn't work. But anyhow, I like that, man. They, again, I mean, all because they pulled their bullshit over there in government, you know, they can get away with that cheating shit. Even if they got caught red-handed, which they have been, they still get away with it. I mean, fuck, you can't touch a politician. That's just a fact. Look at all the shit they've done that they would bury the rest of us for. They would bury the rest of it. And this is both. This is olive. This ain't no one-sided, you know, nothing. They get away with so much shit all the time. It's so weird to see, you know. If I was to do the same shit as a citizen, I would be buried under the prison. They wouldn't even think. They wouldn't even bat an eye my way. But yet they can do it all the time and get away with it. So weird. There's no country in the world that could invade the states. There's a yes, dude. Yes. If let's say this channel, it's going places. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's coming up, man. We got to get you over here sometime. I know you got such a busy schedule, but golly, we got to get you over here at some point. Cause that's the first thing we're doing when we get over here. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. We going shooting. Of course, now you can't even play any type of sound of a firearm on YouTube now, so we'll have to figure something out there. Be a bunch of quacking noises. Quack, 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 quack. Yep. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just, you know, the only reason they don't get away with it is because they really can't test it. They know that every single door, you know, there's a possibility of them getting lit up. And it's happened. I mean, like I said, look at some places that actually have held off a long amount of time. For instance, Ruby Ridge and all that. That was bullshit what happened there. And I'm not really defending the guy. I mean, that was wrong, but I'm going to tell you who was really wrong. The government on that one. First off, they set the dude up, like flat out set him up, you know. Second off, dude, they were so sick. I mean, they killed that fucking woman on purpose. And that motherfucker still walks around. He's got immunity to that, you know. Shot her with a baby in her fucking hands. In her arms.
What?
Yeah, Ruby Ridge. Yeah. That federal agent, man, he was a sniper. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't no slip up, you know. He shot her square in the fucking head. Yeah. And he acknowledged it too. And he's walking free to this day. Because again, they investigated themselves and found they did nothing wrong. Yeah. But that family held out all that time up there on that mountain. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, do you have a syndrome? Probably. What was it, Waco? Yeah, Waco was crazy, dude. Yeah. Oh, they got some nutty ones out there, don't get me wrong. But they held out, man. But they burnt that fucking place down, man, with all them kids in it. That's fucked up. That's what I'm saying, man. The reality of it is, man, if they pass some unconstitutional laws, it's not going to go nowhere. Like I said, it'll happen just like what happened in Virginia. They just kind of like, all the sheriffs and everything was like, yeah, fuck you. We're not doing that, you know? We're not fixed to go in here and lose deputies over that. That's stupid. That's unconstitutional to begin with, you know? The law was unconstitutional. Yeah, no, fuck that. I think the mic's not picking up what my wife's saying. That's probably what it is. So when y'all see me, you know, looking over this way talking, yeah, no, I'm not crazy. I'm not talking. I'm not hearing voices. Maybe I am. No, no, my wife's over here on the side. She's sitting with the babies. Yeah. I take everything the government says with a grain of salt. That's kind of how you have to be. Again, if they can get away with so much shit, man, yeah, we can't. We make a simple mistake, you know, a God's honest mistake, we still get punished heavily for it. The government makes mistakes all day, every day. I mean, look at the depth they're in, you know, and yet they're okay. They don't get punished really for it. Can barely hear her, but no, she's there. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what's crazy about Waco? He actually offered himself up. You know, he tried to come out, but they kept shooting at him. They were trying to kill him, just flat out kill him. He offered himself up. I will say that. I remember that. He was trying to go out there, but every time he'd step out there, they would shoot him. You know, they'd shoot at him, and they hit him. I think one time, but he was trying to surrender. He was coming out the door. They wanted just him. And all the kids would still be alive. The fire wouldn't have never happened. The whole nine. But every time he'd step out the door, they'd shoot at him. That's what I'm saying, man. Just some weird shit going on. The government was fucking up on so many levels on that. You know. Yep. That's like the ATF and all that, man. That whole agency. It's unconstitutional to begin with. It shouldn't even exist. The ATF should not exist. Period. You know? Because, I mean, what are they doing? This is all against law-abiding citizens, and you're giving people felonies that really shouldn't get felonies, you know? The reality is, let's just be honest. If you're going to do bad shit, you're going to harm people, regardless if you have firearms or not, you're going to find a way to fucking do it, you know? Explosives are not hard to make. You can make that shit out of household items. You know, you can make that shit with... I'm not going to go into it. Obviously, I'm not fixing to say, you know, how you make explosives and shit, you know, obviously. But, again, you know, so YouTube, hold up. ATF, hold up. But if somebody is going to hurt somebody, they're going to figure out how to do it. You know, it's like even over there in the UK, the knife crime and shit is fucking through the roof, you know. But you know what's crazy? The bad guys, they always still get their guns. It's amazing. You know, you think some hardened ass fucking criminals are going to care about a fucking law? Mind you, a criminal and a law. You think they're going to fucking care? No. They don't give two fucking shits about a law. You banned full autos? Well, I mean, they got full fucking autos, man. I mean, what can I tell you? It is what it is. What's up, Certified? Hey, I was just covering your stream earlier. I like your 3-strike law. That's savage. Yeah, yeah, dude. Yep. Oh, we getting into some spicy shit, Certified. Yes, sir. Hell yeah, I saw you talking to the bot. Yeah, I was messing with him, man. I was messing with him. I shouted you out while I was in there, but it's like I said, we don't really get many people on this stream. I got to remember to do that. You ought to throw your link tomorrow when I start. It's gonna be a minute before I get started tomorrow, but when I do and you pop on there, you ought to throw your link up, man. You know, on there so people can check you out. Yep. But yeah, we was on here checking it out, just playing with it. Outlook depends on if I'm at work. That's true. That's true. But I got to remember to to say something because we had a lot of people, man. We had 800 steady, man. It was 800 people watching steady earlier. It's pretty cool. Been waking. Get pay step increases. I've got pay step increases. I could do it if I'm around. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll shout Certified out, man, because he's got 9 subscribers. I saw that, dude. So it's getting kind of noticed. I saw you had another mod in there too. So that's really good. Nice. Well, you crush things. It's fun to watch. I grow stuff. It's like only one step up from watching paint dry. I mean, the bot though was the right way to go. Yeah, my buddy. Yep, I saw. Yep. Like I said, man, I think if you was to, which I know you was talking about it. Oh, and by the way, I got some more of these cameras. So I'm recording off the security camera right now, so it's not the greatest. Now, if I put it up to where it's like watching the sky or something, long distance, it paints a pretty good picture, Like the cameras you saw when I was doing outside, views when I was doing the streams, it'll be that. So I got 3 of these cameras, and what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna take and put them on top of that pole so one looks that way, and that way. So that way, when storms happen and all that, we can hop on here, stream, hop on this screen here, and see all the directions. We can switch between all 3 directions. I just got to get it set up. Oh yeah, we'll be seeing some storms Saturday. I still got to set them up though. Chop chop. Fat girl's fleeing film or something, isn't it? I do get turns of birds though. Yeah, we ought to do that where you set up your camera to where you can have one that's but you got neighbors though. That's right. So it wouldn't really work out too well, I guess. Nobody would really like a camera sticking over the fence. If you can get your hands on like an old antenna tower or something like that, that'd be perfect. That way you can look out like far or something. Have it on a swivel. That way that thing moves. Hell, like a windmill or something, right? I mean, you'd be surprised what people watch, man. I've seen some streams that people just watch some weird shit, like this. Y'all are watching some weird shit. Like do a windmill or something, and every time the wind blows, like have it to where that's within view, and it's always something moving, if that makes sense. Like anywhere the wind blows and changes direction, it shows that, Of course, it's probably gonna get tangled up like a son of a bitch if you got it corded. Maybe a solar panel with a battery operated camera. Yeah, that way it's working off of Wi-Fi. Maybe do something like that. That way you can stream a windmill turning with the garden stuff and the chat. The AI robot thing. That's pretty cool. Let's see. My cam doesn't show neighbors. Then people could figure out. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I have some improvements. I just haven't had time. I have 4 cams, just not set up. Yeah. Yeah, I got you, dude. I got you. Oh, you must have like a street sign, like really close or something. Yeah. Or, yeah, a pretty big landmark of some sort. Here it's just kind of like the run of the mill terrain. Yep. I'm on a very well known street. Oh, I got you. Well, we'll say no more then. Yep. I mean, that's kind of a good thing, though, ain't it? The YMCA street. At least for this town. Ah, got you. Got you, got you. I understand. Yeah. And I already give out weather info and my general location. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. I understand, dude. That's like I had to restrain myself from doing those streams where I leave a yard and then come back to a yard. I had to restrain myself from doing that because I don't think nothing of it. But yeah, you could find, like I said, you could figure something out. But yeah, I had to stop all those streams, hide them. At least for let's see. Yep. There's a whole lot of weird out there. Yeah, they are. We've come across a few of them. We know. Yep, old diaper man. He's probably still watches. Like I said, man, he's around. He's still subscribed. I went through my subscribers, and he's got a public channel, and he's still there. Yep, I will never forget that cover photo. Yep. So we had Diaper Man. We had who was the other guy? He didn't last long. Like I said, y'all nerfed him pretty quick. He was just being off, weird kind of off. Like I don't mind, people coming in and kind of trolling a little bit. That's fine. I mean, shit, I'm used to that. That ain't nothing. What you call a cow with no legs? What's that? What do you call them? Ground beef? Yes. Ground beef. You got it. Oh yeah, Stir Fry was fast on that shit. Yeah, we do get some weird ones though. Because that dude kept going on. And like I remember Certified and Chop was playing with him. I think Ghost was playing with him. Yeah, Ghost was playing with... Or no. You know what? Certified, I think you came after that guy. Because we were still in Memphis, and then we shot down to Mississippi. And that's when that's whenever you came along. If I'm not mistaken. No, you might have. Were you around when Diaper Guy was here? Or no? I can't remember. I know Chop and I think Ghost was playing with him, if I remember right. I think even Rory hopped in on it. I think at one point. Why isn't Barbie pregnant? Oh, shit. Maybe because she's wrapped in plastic? I don't know. That is an interesting one. Why is she pregnant? King came in another box. That's a pretty good one, actually. Hold up. I have a weird question. Maybe sus, but far from bad, but I may not risk it. I love a troll. Now go ahead, Wet Noodle. Man, hey, trust me, we're cool around here. Well, just spammers and shit like that. That's all that really bugs us. That and people, some people just come in here so hostile, and I don't know. Something about the internet's weird like that. People come in just instantly angry, if that makes sense. In the chat. When they pop onto a live stream, it's so weird. You're sitting here talking to the guy, you hear him talking and whatnot, and just, why be an asshole right off the bat? Makes no sense. If I Snapchat my... Hey, why did the snowman smile? Because the snowblower was down the street. I know that one. Yeah, I would say both. Yeah, if you intentionally said it, send it to him. Hold up now, and then he screenshots it. Hold up. That's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that one before because the snowblower's down the street, coming down the street. I like dark jokes, but you really can't get away with those on here, you know. Y'all could probably type them in, but I again, if it gets nerfed, it wasn't me. See, gay incest. What the fuck? Damn. You know, and rich people did that, you know, way back when, you know. Incest was an actual thing because they wanted to keep it in the family. And they wonder why they were so deformed. Man. That's weird. Ironically, because, you know, it's always been the whole cousins thing, you know, down here. Everybody always says, oh, they're a cousin effer, you know, whatnot. Yeah. And then you think about it, and it's like, yeah, rich people do that shit. Which I'm not denying the whole cousin thing. They do that shit, you know. That shit comes up more than you would like to know. But yeah. Yep. And hold up. I have a great saying I live for. It is in my nature to be kind and loving. But know this. When it comes to the matters of protecting my friends, my family, and my heart, do not trifle with me, for I'm also the most powerful and relentless creature you'll ever know. Hell yeah, dude. How are push-up bras like a bag of chips? Well, how are push-up bras like a bag of chips? Oh shit. Probably because they're stuffed. When you open them, you realize they're half empty. Oh my god. Shit. Yeah. Speaking of which, what's up with that, by the way? I know they say they fill the bag with nitrogen, but can't you fill a bag with nitrogen and chips? I don't know. I'm weird. I'm worried about that, I guess. Saying one size fits all. As Ron White would say, yeah, I'd like to see all of them.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Sean?
I love you
I love you too.
so much.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about nothing. It was Chop's doing. Chop and stir fried.
What are you talking about?
We are talking about nothing. We're just normal, you know, dude talk, you know, just. Yeah. I love you.
Sean.
What? It's just dude talk.
Okay.
Just dude talk. That's all. It involves Ron White. That should give a hint. They sell it by weight. Oh shit. Oh, Ron White, man. I ain't seen him in forever. Let's see. I heard Curiosity killed the cat. It was a Curiosity, and why did Curiosity kill the cat? Hey, one thing about the internet, don't fuck with the cats. Dude, remember that dude that was killing, or they kept, like, somebody kept posting pictures of cats being tortured and shit, man? And the internet actually pulled together. This is like one of the first times the internet's ever pulled together to solve something. They actually found the person that was doing that. It's such an old story. Again, this was way back in the wild west of the internet, you know. I can't remember all the details, but I do remember them pulling together and finding the bastard who kept torturing the cats. And I remember it was, I think the saying was like, "Don't fuck with the cats" or something like that. Something like that. That's been in today's world would be ancient fucking internet technology right there. That's like way back in the like the the pyramid days of the internet. Let's see. Now my wife is older. I mark hers off. Door frame it. See if they got lower. My wife was really mad about the neighbor lady sunbathing nude. Personally, I was on the fence. I bet that fence had to have a lot of work all of a sudden. You had to paint it, sand it, the whole nine, didn't you? Damn. You know what? All these birds at the top of the fence, I think I gotta take those off. Man, a bird shit all over that fence, man. Golly, I gotta go over there and clean it up. Man. I whitewashed it. I got what you meant, dude. Take that fence down. You know what? I hate this fence all of a sudden. The one time the garden camera turns around. Damn. Hey, AI. Avert it. Do a 360. The cheap. Wait, hold up. Oh my god, oh no. Hey, Certified had a cheap circumcision. It says English is hard. Yeah, he had a cheap circumcision. Golly, I cannot say that. That's like one word I guess I can't say. Yeah, circumcision. Hey, I'm broke right now. My brain broke. Circumcision. Here we go. How much wood could the woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck could chuck wood? Oh my god. I guess I'm reaching the end of my... Yeah. Look, it's time for sleep, pretty much. Okay, yeah. Said he had a cheap circumcision. Oh my god. Anyhow, said he got ripped off.
How's that?
He got ripped off.
So it ripped off?
You get it? He had a cheap circumcision, and he got ripped off. See, my wrapping a purse out of the tips when he went on a vacation. Anyhow. Ain't no way. Yeah, no. Y'all can read that one. Damn. Shit, it's 9:04. Man, y'all, look. I had a lot of fun. Chop, you're wild as hell. Surf ride, you too, man. Hell, we had wet noodles in here, man. We appreciate it, dude. The company, man. We appreciate that. I think I had somebody at the very beginning. They actually subbed. Tim, yeah, Tim Russell. Was it? No. It wasn't Tim. It was Victory. Yep. Victory subbed. I appreciate that if you're still around. Rick and Morty was in here too. That was pretty cool. But let's see. Oh hell, here we go. Difference between a woman and a light bulb. You can unscrew a light bulb. Yeah, I just went through all that. What have I started? Oh no, dude! Trust me, this is not out of the ordinary. Wet noodles. Back when we was in the Mississippi days. All right, so we used to do the streams in a horizontal format, which they loved, man. And again, we got to figure something out to where I could run two streams parallel. If I could definitely get them on the same thing, that would be perfect. But yeah, because some people like watching horizontal, a lot of people like watching the vertical. But when we was in the horizontal days, there wasn't a lot of people watching, man. It was just us. We were hanging around, just shooting the shit. I'm telling you, Chop and Certified, Stian, Ghost, Rory, everybody. Like, for instance, shit. I know you. I can't get your name right now, but anyhow, they made the day go by so much faster, man. I'm telling you, they turn an 8 hour to 10 hour day, depending on which was which, because sometimes I got there earlier. I didn't start the stream until like an hour or two later, but they would make the day go by so much faster, dude. So trust me, you are not missing it. Hey, one time we got scared because, man, we were sitting at about 300, 400 subs, no, 300 subs, and we actually had YouTube step in for a second. We got to talking about, we went down a rabbit hole a little bit, and we were talking about some old websites that used to, they still exist, I'm assuming, maybe. I don't think, maybe not. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to search this stuff anymore, but it was like the old websites that you could see, like, complete, like, you want to see somebody die like that, man. It's rough. I'm not going to say the name because we know what happened last time. They nerfed, like, I'm talking Chop and Certified, man. They nerfed their comment. And it said it on here. It said, hey, YouTube stepped in. I said, hey, I didn't get rid of your comment because I don't think y'all were mods at the time, so y'all didn't see that, I don't think. But YouTube themselves stepped in and shut that shit down, dude. I was like, yeah, so fuck that, yeah. We know our limits now, so, yeah. That's what she said. I was alright until Certified came. I swear, dude. Hey, I swear, man. Hey, it's perfect, though. It's cool. Subbed. I appreciate that, Wet Noodles. That's what she said. That's right. Might be cell phone friendly. It is, and there's a lot of people on it, man. Because I realized when I did the vertical, it really shot up. As far as the amount of people that watched. Even here, like if I was doing horizontal, I'd be lucky if the notification reached y'all. To be honest. But I know whenever I went vertical, and of course the Trico content and all that went up, it really took off. I got a Viagra pill stuck in my throat, and now I have a stiff neck. So I don't pee in my slippers. I am banned on one stream. My comments go in a box. I have a game I do when I'm alone. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Hey, I think we found Certified. Your twin. You'll go blind, Noodles. Don't do it. Don't go into the light. Man. Yeah, you'll like it here, man. When I'm busy, though, in the Trico, when you start seeing that kind of content, sometimes I can't get to everybody right off the bat because, again, we got so much time to do something. Now, here at the shop, I think we're good on time. It's just I got to get these cars done and crushed up, get these loads going, and get to work on the baler and Trico because I want to get all this stuff done before we get sent out on another job because we don't know when it's going to happen. And sometimes it might be 3 months, sometimes it might be real soon. So I just want to get it done and get to working on them. But let's see. Oh no, how do you spot a blind man in a nude beach? It's not hard. Anyhow, I went blind. The dog is typing this. But yeah, no, you're good with noodles, man. Hell, if you got some jokes, man, throw them. Just know that it does have limits. You know, like I said, YouTube's kind of funny about some things. So if you mention like some keywords, they might pop you off of there. I don't know. Like I said, looks like, man, hell, everybody's pretty cool with you, dude. So if I'm not talking to you, hell, they got you. I know Stian, especially when you meet Stian, he's a fast typer. Like, he out types all of us. Me, I don't type. Y'all seen that in the very beginning of the stream. I do not type fast at all. That's why I'd rather just talk to you. Oh, and we gotta figure out this whole going live together thing too. So that way we can do like a moderator meetup or something like that, or like do like a live stream with all of us, talking like like not in person, but on here. Y'all can see each other on here. That'd be cool. I got OBS. I'm getting a little bit better at it, so I'm kind of figuring some things out. If I can get on to like the old, which is the new Skype is what do they call that? What do they call that? Team members or something like that? Microsoft Teams. That's the new Skype. I didn't know that. Evidently, Skype went to shit. So yeah, so we can all probably get on that and be able to talk, on a live stream. Which is probably going to be a big mistake because we are going to be really fast at, quick-witted and whatnot. This is going to be funny as shit. But, my T-Rex joke got hidden a lot because of YouTube. Yeah, dude. Yeah. My dono joke would not go well either. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's cool, man. Like I said, we're all cool with you. So when you pop up in here telling jokes and whatnot, we got you. We got you covered. It's just if it does get nerfed, I promise you it's YouTube. They just, yeah. Or certified. So Stian hasn't met you yet, so kind of like, he'll get you. Chop and certified, they'll cover for you. Yep. Well, welcome to the team, huh? Welcome to the channel. Yep. And it's ironic because you come in here on a boring stream, so when it picks up, you might enjoy it. Who knows? But, yep. This is the quote-unquote After the Crush, which I hadn't got a name that. It's actually just titled under me. So when I do the phone stuff, so that is weird. So on here, when I do the phone stuff, I guess it changes the title here back to Think Before You Sheep. Because I did have it After the Crush. Oh well. It's cool. It's cool. Think Before You Sheep. That's channel name. So works either way, I guess. 3:13. I got to. Yeah. Same here, Choppy. We gotta eat dinner real fast and then hop in the shower and go to bed. And that's always so nice. Right after a shower, just hit the bed. Out you go. Anyhow, man, it was fun meeting y'all. Nice meeting you, Wet Noodles. Chop, certified. Man, y'all take it easy, dude. Night, y'all. Yeah. After the Crush is cool. Yeah, that's what I was doing with the titles, was After the Crush. Chop whipped sheep. A great day and night. Hell yeah, dude. Take it easy, Wet Noodle. Chop wet sheep. Yeah. Yeah. Chop wet sheep. We'll figure it out. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Night, y'all.